Welcome, my friends. I am Olaf Krieg, your host here in the Triple Press. I am joined, of course, once again by my friends Skylar Hawkins Davion, Darius Matamori, and Luke Lavator, and we are going to talk about all things related to the Grayland Trios League. This is the Triple Press. Tonight, we've got some amazing action. Our first match coming up here in just a few moments. Age-old rivalry. Some could call it a feud. Some would call it pure hatred, perhaps. We've got the Luthien Dragonborn hosting the Davion Golden Suns. I almost called them the Federated Suns Golden Suns, but that would have sounded really weird. Later tonight, we'll see the Marek Industrialists and the Remoran opposition taking each other on to see who can remain undefeated. And also this week, we've got the Canopian Honeybees taking on those dreadful, I didn't mean to call them dreadful. I meant to say the Lyran debutantes. Meanwhile, let's talk about what's happened in the last week or two. I guess I have to... There we go. Our current standings. We've got a three-way tie for first place based on wins and losses. On points alone, however, the Marek Industrialists stand head and shoulders above all the rest, as they should. As they are. We've got the Davion Golden Suns and the Remoran opposition, all three teams standing at 2-0. We've got the Canopian Honeybees coming back on a good win. Last week they faced one of the other teams. I don't remember which. I don't have all my notes open in front of me, just some of them. We're also looking at the Taurian Nationals and the Lyran Debutantes. Based on wins alone, or in this case, losses, they are tied, but there is a difference based on the points. Lastly, we have the Sian Spirits and the Luthien Dragonborn sitting at the bottom at 7th and 8th place. The Luthien Dragonborn took a hell of a loss last week, completely unexpected by even the Marek Industrialists themselves. They did not expect that win to be quite so, we'll just say, devastating. Moving on to the rest of my slides. Current standings and position changes. Moving from last week, the Davion Golden Suns down one position, while the Remorans move their way up one. Canopian Honeybees with the biggest jump across the league of moving up 3 positions. And the Lyran Debutantes and the Luthien Dragonborn both dropping 2 positions to their current position. Leading the league in kills, we've got a tie. First place, Sulama Omar of the Marek Industrialists and Tim Ananas of the Remoran opposition, both with 3 kills. And we have a 4-way tie for third for 2 kills. Susan Pritha, Nini Bui, Emily Hernandez, and Rugen Baker. There's a lot more names that were not listed at 1 kill apiece, coming across basically from all the teams. And then lastly, although this isn't necessarily the most accurate representation, we've got a list of who has the most money. We've got the Industrialist at the top with 73 wealth, followed by the Remoran opposition with 55, the Davion Golden Sun sitting at 32, Canopian Honeybees at 21, the Debutantes at 20, the Dragonborn at 14, the Nationals at 7, and the Spirits at 0. Now, since I've gone through all of my slides, let me get back to the important parts here. While I'm doing all of that, quick little introduction from... Oh my, I've got the wrong... Oh, my overlays are being weird. I'll fix that. In the meantime, Countess Davion, Hawken Davion, what do we call you? Skylar, I believe, is what you wanted last week. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe some thoughts for this week, maybe some thoughts from last week.
Yes, just Olaf is fine for the purposes of...
That's my name. I would like to keep my name.
Just,
Thank you.
Just Skylar is fine for me, Olaf. Yeah, sorry, but I had a little bit too much wine tonight.
I see. Yes, that good Davion Gold red wine.
Yes. It's even though we won last week, it definitely had an impact. Let's say on our finances to be able to repair that expensive Highlander. So yes, and of course, we showed the Sians, who are who are their better. So I was not expecting much out of them to begin with. But of course, this week we have, as you mentioned, our rivals. The Cretans, and they had a devastating loss. Last week. I hope they'll put up more of a challenge for the Davions this week. We can only hope that they will rise to our level of competition.
Some fine words there. Some would call those fighting words. Moving on, we do have your rival, Darius Matamori. I was gonna say hello in Japanese, but I totally forgot. Konnichiwa. Thank you. Yeah, half a second too slow there. What about you, my friend? This last week or so, what are you looking forward to? Any other news that you might want to share?
Well, we have had a pretty devastating season so far. The loss of that Warhammer really hit hard.
Yes, the Warhammer
But
that was taken out by an
I
ammo explosion, if I recall correctly.
yes, it was, and one that, with better timing, probably could have been prevented.
Yes, yes. An ounce of
But
prevention, they say.
hindsight 2020. Hopefully, we'll be putting on a better show for the Davion Golden Suns tonight and crushing them underfoot.
As one should when you're voting for the regions. One should be looking for a good show, and hopefully the fans as well will get something good out of that. Speaking of the fans, we have something of a non-traditional team. Usually teams have mascots that invoke some sort of fear, trepidation, concerns. Now, I don't know about you, but honeybees, they're annoying, but they're not nearly so devastating or scary as, say, a dragon. With that in mind, Mr. Lavator, please tell us a little bit about yourself, your team, what you're looking forward to this week. Anything
Well,
else?
hello. Comment ça va? We are the Canopian honeybees. We are not trying to strike any kind of fear into people. We are trying to make sure people understand that the Magistrix of Canopia is a safe place. Now, I was tasked to organize a team to replace the Travelers so that we might be able to achieve that goal. We started the match on our first week quite awful, I have to say. Wrong foot, absolutely wrong foot. But then we used the other foot, and we went into the next match and did actually quite well. Not a huge loss of manpower or resources, and we ended up getting a lot of people on our side after that.
Indeed, indeed. And some would say that kicking with one foot, much like riding or sword fighting, some people tend to prefer one side. It seems you found which side you preferred. And that's a good thing.
Yes.
Now we just got to keep
We
the
have
trend.
our footing.
Indeed, indeed.
And I'll hope that footing follows into this match this week.
Well, it's interesting to note. I actually have a question I have prepared. Perhaps this was mailed in or something, but you did have a stunning loss in week 1. You managed to recover this week, or excuse me, last week. What are your plans for keeping the momentum for tonight and the rest of the season?
Well, we want to continue making sure that people are behind us. With the help and support of the people behind us, we should be able to fund and continue our growth as a team.
So this has become a popular movement, one could say. A war for hearts and minds, and maybe a few sea bills along the way.
Maybe.
Indeed, indeed. Skylar, you're tied with the industrialists, and depending on one's way of looking at things, as well as the opposition, insofar as wins and losses. Looking at the Dragonborn tonight, which would you say is perhaps the more formidable or intimidating opponent, the Dragonborn or the industrialists? And what other opponents do you feel that may be a challenge in the coming weeks?
Well, certainly the Dragonborns are certainly nothing to to dismiss. Although I think we shall do fine against them. Of course, we do have something of a rivalry from the preseason or the previous season, shall we call it, the simulation season with the American Industrial. So there's also a bit of a rivalry there, but I think the standings are a bit deceptive there. Of course, they had a large mech kill, whereas the Davions were fighting much smaller mechs against the Sian. So I don't think the standings quite accurately reflect on who is actually the better team, but we
Hmm.
shall see. We shall see. One
Indeed,
one
indeed.
opponent at a time.
One opponent at a time. That's really the only way to go, huh? Speaking of a one opponent at a time, Mr. Matamori, down by 2 losses, and over 13 points behind the leadership as far as the standings are concerned. How do you plan on recovering? One could even ask, can you recover?
Well, I think we still can recover. It's going to take a long and hard road, but we certainly should be able to get our standing back.
Indeed. Indeed. And we shall see soon, shall we not?
Indeed.
Well, I've just been informed that the Science Spirits tonight, for one reason or another, have had to forfeit their match this week against the Taurian Nationals. Some could say lack of funds, lack of resources. As the Honeybees coach, Mr. Labotor, just mentioned a moment ago, what thoughts do you guys have, if any, regarding both this unfortunate forfeiture, as well as thoughts, hopes, considerations as to whether or not the spirits can recover?
Well, I hope that they have the support from their fans to be able to continue the sport. But the Science Spirits have had kind of a rough go also, it seems.
Yes, they are down 0-2 at this point.
So that's not great.
No. In fact, it appears that they are out of money and short of a marketing genius or major success. It's entirely possible that next week will be no better for them. Any other further thoughts?
Well, of course, it's expensive to field a team, but as with most sporting competitions that are worth their salt. No one's going to hold your hand in this league, and if they can't afford to compete, that's unfortunately their loss. It does take significant amount of money to run a team, and of course we are not all as blessed with having strong finances. So if you know to just let the chips fall where they may, and
Your
just
phrasing makes
field
me
a team.
your phrasing makes me wonder if you were born a Steiner and not a Davion.
Oh, well, we all have our business interests, and we all have our sources of income. Well, apparently not the science, but
Mr. Matamori, any thoughts regarding the spirits or any others?
Well, I can at least say this. The Dragonborn are not going to be the ones at the bottom of the rankings.
Indeed, indeed. Now, as you know, being the coaches and the managers and whatnot of your teams, next week is our special match week, our mid-season break. Now, we have not yet learned what that special match is going to be. We do, however, have some information regarding prizes. I have been told that the number one prize, the prize given to the first place team, whatever that match may be, of which there are several different varieties that it could be, the first place winner will receive 20 wealth. They will receive a special version of the King Crab and their choice of 2 heavy special variants, of which, of course, they can choose one. Second place will get the other heavy and a choice of mediums. Third place will have 1 medium, and of course, everybody in the top 4, as I understand it, will be receiving 20 wealth. Any thoughts regarding these prizes. Now, mind you, I have to remind you and the audience as well that we have not yet learned what next week's special event will be. That information will be coming out later tonight during our show.
Mario, I mean Olaf, that sounds like a party.
Sounds like a party. I may have to ask you to explain.
Well, if we are going to compete in a special match for all kinds of wealth and all kinds of special mechs, that King Crab sounds very interesting.
Indeed, indeed. And I might point out that these are the special variants, some more advanced variants than one might typically find on the battlefields or even here in the arenas. More details.
Have to make sure that I'm ready.
Indeed, more details will, I'm sure, be released in time. Any other further comments before we move into tonight's matches, starting with, of course, Foehammer.
Let's just say that the Davions already have our eyes on the prize for that special event. Everyone knows that we love our autocannons, and of course it would be fitting for that to find its way onto our team.
Indeed, indeed.
But Olaf, you do have me curious and a bit worried about the circumstances of that match. I hope you're not planning anything crazy like a land air mech competition or anything. I mean,
Land air mechs are so incredibly expensive and dangerously fragile. We wouldn't try to bring those in here. I promise you, a guest in another county could sneeze and that lamb would fall out of the sky. No, no, no. We need something more entertaining, a little bit more durability, something that will last a few more than just a few seconds before it goes boom, because then the fans actually feel like they got something for their money. Mr. Matamori, any thoughts?
About the special event?
Yes, yes. Well, the prizes at least.
Well, I can say this. It would behoove us to get that king crab, if only to keep it out of the hands of our
Yes, indeed. If I can't have it, neither shall you. That's the thought process I'm hearing. Well, friends, there we go. A little bit of pre-game chatter. Let's get down to the fields and let's see what is going on. It looks like we've got our first match lining up already. We've got the Luthien Dragonborn taking on age-old rivals, hated foes, the Davion Golden Suns. All right, I'm done with that accent. I don't even know if I can carry it anymore. God damn, that hurt. All right, I am going to load a unit list, and then we'll see if Foehammer has connectivity problems again.
Just let me know when to connect.
Yep. Oh, no, I went too far. Wrong folder. That one. Week 3. That's the one I want. All right, it is up.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and give the Dragonborn player his. And now I'm going to give Foehammer his. Or not. Who did we lose? Oh, we lost Luke. Nope, Luke is back. But it messed up my being able to assign these. Good lord. Foehammer. Alright, and if you are not in the match, go ahead and change your team to number 0, just to make it easier on the computer. As far as the two that are in the match, you should be okay. I need to set the map. We're going to 21 by 21 generated. Verify. I did this already, but let's just verify that we have the correct preset. All right, correct preset. Oh my god, I can't speak. Why can't I speak? Correct preset set or something. I don't know. All right, you're the home team, Darius. Go ahead and talk us briefly through your lineup before we get started.
My lineup?
Yes.
Well, In spite of what happened last week, the Warhammer 6K is a decent machine, so we have acquired 2 more of it.
The logic is sound.
And then the spider, of course, is our harrying force.
Yes, and quite the spider harrying force it is with that, God. It's not 696. No, it is 696 movement profile. Am I right? Off the top of my head?
8, 12, 8.
That's even more annoying that it can jump further than 6. All right, Fohammer, talk to us about your lineup, please.
Well, going with a try and true lineup here. We have our Atlas for the anchor and our Hunchback for those precision laser kills, and then the Jenner for our harassers. So should be a pretty interesting match. Got the 2 Warhammers to the Atlas. So the question will be on who can get those flanking maneuvers off.
Indeed, and I knew about the Warhammer for I believe it was immediately post Darius's match last week when he was like, "Fuck this, I'm getting 2 of them sons of bitches." And so it's been a rough week for me to keep my mouth shut and to not directly or indirectly say things like, "Hey, you might want to think about this idea." Not that I would do that, but it has been a challenge. And knowing what you were up against, Foe, I have been looking forward to this match because I'm expecting to see a lot of explosions this evening. Hopefully, not so much one-sided, but there's 4 PPCs on the enemy team to none on yours, so it'll be interesting because those PPCs, despite the silliness, as far as damage comparison and all that, 4 PPCs is nothing to laugh at.
Nope.
With that in mind, Darius, you are the home team, so you may select your starting edge. Bowhammer, once he's done that, you'll need to select the opposing side. Of course, you could take the corners if you like.
I think I'll take the north.
Okay. Yeah, I know for me personally, if I have the option, there's just something about moving up the map that makes me feel, even moving down, you would think it would still carry some of that same weight, but it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I got to move up for some reason. Some psychological BS, I'm sure. All right, everybody click done, please, and we will be off to our first match of the evening.
Are you sure you got all the numbers right this time?
I have double checked. I literally sat here one night and hand wrote every single pilot and mech and tech and experience and edge straight off the spreadsheets, verified them in Mech HQ so that when I extract nope, what's the word I'm looking for? When I saved them into moles, because I can't think of the goddamn word now, just to make sure that everything is straight. So, if you want to double check, please. However, I don't feel that there is a need to, but you don't have to take my word for it. Please don't take my word for it. I wouldn't take my word for it if I were you. I don't have a good track record in that regard. Foe, you missed it last week. I don't know if you watched the video last week, but apparently I freaking totally fucked up one of his pilots and made him, instead of elite, I made him green and never caught on. So he's out there, he's like, wait a minute, I should have made that pilot saving skill, or pilot skill roll, whatever, and they failed by like 1 or 2 points simply because they weren't elite. And I was like,
oh no.
Oh yeah, we had to restart the match and everything. I was like, fuck. So then I think like Tuesday or Wednesday, I actually sat down and did all the handwriting and then cross-checking with Mech HQ to make sure it was all good. And it'll be even more entertaining because guess what happens during this week? You guys get to spend experience points. So I got to make sure all the shit is up, not just before you spend it, but also after you spend it. So.
Yep.
But I don't have Blood Bowl this week, so that
one's
one's
all good.
All right, good deal, good deal. All right, go ahead and launch us there, Darius. And let's get this show on the road. Alright, click done one more time, please. Alright, and now I get to play where best to situate the camera so that the viewers at home can actually see something. You know what I just realized? Oh no, we're not playing with those double blind teams vision thingies. So don't listen.
We're not?
No, we haven't changed those rules yet.
You said we would be using them.
You know what I did, and you know what I totally spaced checking. You know why? This is actually kind of funny. Probably because I got wrapped up in making sure all the pilots were set correctly, and I never bothered to go back and look and see if we had all 3 consents on the change in rule sets. In fact, I think the one person we were waiting on was Luke. Last I recall, anyway. I don't know if Luke's actually...
I'm terribly sorry. I may have spaced on that.
No worries. It also kind of falls on me because I never, like, reminded people about it. I mean, I did get... Obviously, I knew I was going to get Darius's pretty fast because he was the one that sat there and went through all of the options with me. But Foe picked it up pretty quick, like within... I want to say like within that first day or so since I posted that. And then after that, I got totally caught up in making sure all the pilots were correctly
That's the
entered.
23rd.
That checks out. That was last Sunday.
23rd.
Yeah. And so because of that issue during Darius's match against the Industrialists, which are played by me, I was like, I better go check all of these pilots. And I actually didn't find... I think I found like one other pilot somewhere. 1 or 2 pilots had the wrong skills input into Mech HQ.
Any particular takeaways that I need to remember about this other than the double blind?
It's double bind, but there's also some like sensors and ECM, ECCM, but those won't come into play until the timeline advances in the GTL. Because I think what we'll do is we'll do like 3024, and then we'll probably skip a few years, and then we'll do another season or 2, and then skip a few more years. That's all, of course.
Nice.
That's all, of course, assuming that we will continue GTL at that point, because we're talking like something like 3 to 6 months from now before the first big jump. You were about to say something, Foe, I think.
Yeah, that initiative. All 3 of my mechs are moving before any of the Dragonborn.
Yes. Would you care to explain why, Mr. Matamori? Or shall I leave it mysterious?
Tactics.
Yep, that tactics bonus. 2 of his pilots have a tactics bonus. It's only a +1, and the initiative offset should be in there. So, like, if one side keeps winning initiative a bunch, the other side should start getting more and more bonuses to help offset it. But yes, tactics is important, as is Edge, even though Edge gets burned up pretty fast, semi-randomly. Tactics is useful every initiative round. I will warn you though, there are limits to tactics and Edge based on the skill level of the individual pilot in question. It's in the fine print. It's not actually fine print. It's in the rules, but...
Are you recording this time?
I am, and thank you for reminding me. We only would have lost 28 minutes and 50 seconds.
Sorry.
No worries. No. Please. A little reminder does not hurt, because of that mistake last week, I was like, as soon as this son of a bitch goes live, the very next click needs to be record.
Yeah.
It's amazing what losing, or when you make mistakes, it's amazing how much you can learn from it. At least that's like the ideal scenario. We've got some really big, heavy mechs moving into shooting range pretty fast. So this is going to be explosive almost immediately. Although they do have some open, flat terrain with which to annihilate each other. So that is helpful in that regard. And we could see the Jenner and the Spider are already doing the whole flanky bit. I wonder on the next turn what that spider's going to do. I have a guess. I'm not going to say anything, but I have a pretty good idea what that spider's going to do on the next turn.
Interesting first round, that's for sure.
Yeah. Got some distance being closed down. We got some firing. I haven't even looked at the numbers yet. All right, Here we go. We got some booms already. Oh, not booms. More like bangs, but whatever. Let's see. Hunchback scores a couple of hits on the Warhammer number 1. Spider misses. Warhammer number 1 hits the Atlas. Atlas misses its shot. I'm not seeing what... Oh, there it is. Okay, we got a little bit of fire being traded, but nothing big yet. Not yet. Got no major heat buildup yet.
Which is surprising from the amount of lasers that came out of that Hunchback.
Yeah, well, that Hunchback is notorious for heat management.
Yeah, it's effectively heat neutral. I mean, it's a little bit of, but I basically fire almost everything except like 1 or 2 lasers and basically not gain any heat.
And which is funny because if you don't fire those 1 or 2 lasers, you're still firing like 5 or 6. It's fucking nasty how many lasers are on that thing. But man, the minute you lose that torso, that thing is fucked. Oh, we got a fire going.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
Got a roasted Warhammer. Who's hungry? That really does sound like a burger, doesn't it? The roasted Warhammer. Maybe not a burger, but like, I don't know, like a chunk of lamb.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a big old steak.
Yeah.
Like a big one that you could hammer something with.
Yeah.
Big and thick.
Bone in, so you can grab it like a barbarian.
Yeah, that's where the handle is from
Warhammer.
Yeah,
That's the actual Warhammer. It's like the lamb chop with the bone in still.
It's a T-bone.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, we got some interesting movements already going here.
Mm-hmm.
Digging it. I'm digging it. The movement of the Jenner may affect what I thought might happen with that spider. We'll see in a moment or two.
There's a couple ways out of that.
Yeah. Whoa, that spider's got to make a choice now.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's an easy answer. It's just a matter of which answer gets selected. So yeah, the Sian spirits, I couldn't quite finish their repair rolls. Like I kept rolling low, and they're out of money. So I was like, shit, they don't have a mech, or they don't have a team they can put on the field with the mechs they have. Well, I guess they'll have to forfeit. We'll see what happens next week.
If only there was a benefactor.
I actually thought about that, not because like the Merrics have a shit ton of money, because they do, but I just happened to have that thought, like, I suppose there's nothing in the rules that specifically says you cannot do this, so therefore maybe you can. What if a player team were to just drop a bunch of cash for another team? I don't know if I thought about maybe dropping like 10 or 20 wealth for him, but I could drop all the money I want. What actually literally stopped him was not making good repair rolls. I rolled like 2s and 3s and 4s when they needed like 6s and 7s. I rolled 6s and 7s when they needed 9s and 10s, and I was like, God damn, can't get this mech out of the bay to save its life.
Well, there is something to be said about competent technicians.
There is that, but with the NPC teams, I'm not shuffling people around too much, because then it feels too much like I'm playing them, and they're just NPC teams, so they're supposed to be there for like what's the word I want to use? They're basically there for chaff, and then you save the big scary shit for like American industrialists, because they're like they're like the big bad boss almost. They're not boss. It's not gonna be a boss fight.
That was a big move from the Atlas.
Yeah, it was scooting forward like that. That Warhammer's in a good spot, but the other Warhammer can counter easily just by getting in the Atlas's face. We'll see how that moves. Not to mention the spider still hasn't moved yet, so we don't know where it's going to go. It's got literally 3 choices of where to go to be the most annoying pain in the ass, perhaps even literally.
Oh, it has the ability to become anyone's pain in the ass.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just checking here. Yeah, its jump distance is capable of getting anywheres, and including a lot of bonus to defense.
Yep. And there you go. That's actually really good positioning. No mech. The Hunchback... No, not even the Hunchback. It'll have a laser or 2 on its right arm that it could possibly hit the spider with, but because it jumped, the distance it jumped, and the range to the target, those are all going to make that to hit number really high. Probably about 9 or 11, I'm thinking, minimum. The Atlas could twist and get a left arm or a right arm weapon. I don't recall a specific location of those weapon systems, but it may not be enough to deter that spider. And of course, the Jenner still has to move. I think the Jenner can cross the distance to the spider, but it would not necessarily be worth it. Oh no, the spider. No, everybody moved. Yeah, no, never mind. I was looking at how the color changed. No, we're in a different phase now. We're in the fire phase. Oh, come on. You can't just come into my channel and freaking do all this shit. Come on, dude. I don't want to reply. I want to actually boot this guy.
What happened?
Oh, somebody came in and tried to freaking what's the word I want to use?
Sell follows for follows?
Something to that effect, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And now I want to delete that message.
Yeah, so get onto your
purge
mod section.
I already banned him.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I banned him, but it won't delete the message. I might have to.
Yeah, so there should be a mod button.
I'd probably have to open up
yeah, you'd have
Twitch.
to open up Twitch.
I've got a chat bot and Streamlabs. Oh, it's already gone. Never mind. Unless my kid is in here. My oldest.
Oh, he's a mod?
Yeah, my oldest son is a mod.
Nice.
He's one of my players for Blood and Glory.
Oh, very nice.
Blood
So
and Glory.
we're starting to see some fire.
Yeah, we are. Blood and Glory. You can catch that on Tuesdays. Little King Arthur Pendragon role playing. 80-odd year in-game campaign. Players are currently in about their 4th year. Yep, there goes the spider taking those back shots. Not that we didn't expect that.
Good rolls too.
Well, it looks like my son actually is not in chat, so I guess when I banned him, it deleted that message.
Yeah, it should.
It's not as bad as it used to be. There was a time when I was streaming, probably a couple of years ago, when I was streaming pretty regularly. I was getting those stupid, whatever you want to call it, spam or whatever. You get that stupid follow for follow, or just come in and be like, I want you guys to come check out this website, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, go away. You can't just barge in here and be like, buy my shit, because nobody likes that.
No.
All right. Got some damage resolution here. Warhammer's taking some more damage. I've already got that one marked. Not bad. Let's see. Hunchback. Firing, oh my god. Missing with almost every one of them. Oh dear. We've got a Jenner all the way up to heavy damage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard with a PPC and a light mech. That's usually how that formula works out.
Oh, I don't like that.
Let's see, what do we got? The Atlas. I've already got the Atlas marked. We've got the Warhammer already marked. Oh dear, that spider. Also, same thing. Little mech, big guns. Well, in this case, it was just a medium laser, but that medium laser rolled super well. Holy shit. That spider is now crippled. And what did the shot on it? That was, what fired at that spider? Oh, the Atlas.
Atlas.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got
The
those
rear
rear-mounted,
lasers.
yep. Atlas takes some more hits. We got the Warhammer taking a PSR. The spider, oh wait, is he dead? No, it was only one hit on the gyro, okay. We got Vidya Takaram.
Yeah.
2 on the engine and 1 on the gyro. That spider is effectively dead anyway. Atlas is still standing. Jenner falls, but I believe the Jenner just about lost an entire ass leg.
Yeah.
Almost an entire ass leg.
Almost lost 2 legs. It's only got 2 armor on the right leg now.
Oh, man. Well, that is unfortunate for the light mechs. Lucky shots almost, one could argue.
Yep.
All right, moving into round 3. We got some... Oh, the spider... Oh, because the spider took the engine hits. That's why I had to roll for the shutdown. Otherwise, things are not terribly hot. Getting there. All right, questions for the players. The spider and the Jenner. Are you going to keep them on the field, or are you going to withdraw them?
The Jenner I will probably keep on the field just because it's still,
Fairly able to do stuff?
fairly able. I mean, if its leg was like really badly, or if it was missing a leg, I guess we'll see what happens if it tries to stand up. This might be
Yeah.
its last round, but
Yeah. Darius, what are you going to withdraw the spider, or are you going to keep him in there? He's effectively done.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna eject him.
All right. Are you going to... Well, I'll wait till the end of the round before I make that, just so I can keep kill credit counts and all that shit accurate. But please, do as you do when in Rome, or something. I did not... this sort of thing always happens to light. I shouldn't say always, but commonly happens to lights. I didn't expect both of them to take big hits like that so early. And though, because they're lights, it doesn't take much for it to be considered a big hit. Oh, interesting choice. You're banking on that spider not being able to effectively do anything, aren't you? Actually, you know what? That's probably not a bad move. That keeps the Warhammers in front of the Atlas. If he had stayed in that same area where he was, one of them could have got behind him.
yeah, or at least into the side arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to keep him in the front where the armor is the heaviest.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about plinking your way through Atlas front armor. It's not fun. It takes a lot of goddamn firepower.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm just reviewing the AS7D at this moment, and it is a formidable mech.
Oh yeah, it's fucking scary. It is fucking scary. There's few mechs. The King Crab gets close, I think. Like, not points or anything, but just the way it makes me go like, oh man, I really don't want to fuck with this guy. I remember if it wasn't last night, it would have been Friday night. My son and I, my oldest one, we were playing MechWarrior 5, and our first mission when an assault showed up, it was like the first time we had seen an assault in the game in this current playthrough, and we were both like, oh shit, and then I saw what it was, and I was like, don't worry about it, it's a charger, paper thin, stay out of range, you'll be fine. And then like 2 missions later, a Victor, and then later a Battle Master, and I was like, fuck me, man, this is not good. We're running around with a heavy medium lance, and all of a sudden they drop a Victor, and then later another Victor, and a Warhammer, and I'm like, fuck, bro, I'm so fucked right now. But the one thing about those games versus tabletop or Mega Mech is you can, because of their nature of being semi first person shooter, it's really easy to concentrate all the firepower in one location, so you can burn through that armor super fast compared to what you might see on the tabletop. You put enough damage on the center torso, any mech dies. Not to John Madden my way through this game.
Yeah, actually, completely out of character as a player. I didn't realize that the Jenner had damage to its actuator. So it's actually, I'm actually lucky it still managed to get up.
Yeah, you got. I want to say the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it was like a 7 to roll or 7 to be able to stand up, and it made it. But man,
You're lucky it was only a set. Oh wait, you have an elite pilot in there.
no,
Hernandez, is he
elite,
or she?
The elite, I think, is in my Atlas.
Okay.
Atlas and Hunchback. I think it's just what's a 4-5?
4-5. 4-5 is regular.
Is regular, yeah. I think it's a regular in the Jenner.
Yeah, Hernandez is regular. Oh, that's a Warhammer.
Warhammer moving in.
Yep.
Yep.
Pritha, your Hunchback pilot, is a veteran, so it must be your elite that's in. No, Susarla is an elite. Excuse me, a veteran. So you got 2 veterans and a regular on the field. I don't think you might not have an elite pilot.
No, I don't have a 2-3.
I was blessed with at least one.
Yeah, no, you do not, foe. You have 2 veterans and a couple of others. I don't want to give out too much information for those that haven't been able to piece all the information for themselves.
Yes.
Sure. That was the sound of Luke sitting there going, "Damn it, he stopped." No more furious handwriting.
Yes.
Give me more info. Give me more info. Oh, that Hunchback is. Ooh, going for that kill on that Warhammer. I'm curious, did the Warhammer actually reposition, or did it just stay there? I guess I could just mouse over and see for myself.
I think it just moved by not moving.
It did. It definitely did. I wonder why. Darius is plotting something. And he has ejected the spider, which gives the Atlas a light kill. Let's see. So that is the SDR5. Spider is defeated. That is unfortunate. But that's battle. Oh, gotta give the pilot a kill. Moving on to the fire phase. Luke, will you have some fans coming to join you this evening for your match? Are they already here?
One person said they were gonna come in. Sometimes I host it in my Discord for people to click the link.
Oh yeah.
However, not really. Since, as you may know, I'm from Far Off Lands, and Far Off Lands, it is midnight and a half right now.
Midnight and a half. I like how you put that.
So a lot of the people that I know are from even later times than this.
Yeah, it is pretty late, and the drawback of being based on the West Coast compared to predominantly more gamers the further east you go, apparently.
Yeah, because it's poorer places, but that's an economic problem, not a.
No. My tiny income. God, I tried to purchase Imperium Maledictum from the Cubicle 7 website. This is the second time, because I did this again like 1 or 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit more. And for whatever reason, Cubicle 7 is declining my credit card. Never mind the fact that I can use that credit card literally anywhere else. I literally ordered my groceries not more than like an hour or 2 prior to that. So I don't know. I'm wondering if my bank just thinks it's a weird purchase or something, even though I've purchased from there before.
I get that a lot with GOG because it's overseas and it.
Warhammer 2 taking damage. Warhammer 2 actually is now at moderate damage based on that internal structure on the left torso.
Yeah.
Yes.
At AC 20.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll do it. That will do it. Warhammer is taking some more fire, but nothing big yet. Hunchback getting a lot of hits in.
Everything.
And the Jenner is now at... That's a leg. That takes the Jenner up to crippled. So, by your choice, of course, you can withdraw the Jenner here shortly.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling down here.
If you do, the kill credit will go to the first Warhammer pilot. And the Atlas taking some hits. Nothing. Oh, we got a couple of hits, multiple hits in the center torso. We've got medium laser center torso, one SRM-6, another SRM-6, or excuse me, SRM missile. We got a couple going straight to that center torso. The Jenner is down. We saw that coming. Oh, the pilot takes a hit though.
Yep.
Jenner pilot takes a hit. That reminds me, I haven't seen other pilots take any hits, so hopefully I didn't miss any.
They haven't.
Yeah, I think that was the first one.
I think so too.
We can double check once we get back on screen.
Yeah, we can check once we get to the post match wrap up. All right, we got some physicals going here. Who's got some? Oh, to kick the pilot. Don't do that. That's a -5 on your fan roll.
Oh, is that what it is?
Actually, it might be a -3 because huh?
Is that in the same? I can't tell from the thing. Is the pilot in the same square as the Atlas?
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah.
That'll squish him.
Yeah, don't do that. That's rude. Even if he is a filthy Draconis Combine pilot. And cue Darius with a witty report back. Or retort, I should say. Oh, Takaram got picked up by the Atlas, not stepped on. Yeah. There's a very fine difference between the two.
Yeah. I don't know for the purposes of you, because that's just automatic when...
Oh, yeah, it is. It doesn't mean it. And he chose to eject that mech, so technically, right about now, Vidyut Takaram is off somewhere trying to find a cold drink.
Yeah, it's just a surrender.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's just completely out of character. It's funny he got picked up and now he's riding in the what do they call it? The second seat or whatever. That's
the jump seat.
Yeah, the jump seat. Yeah, he's got to watch from the jump seat of the rival team.
And not only that, but the biggest mech on the jumps on the field, which makes that mech #1 target.
Yeah. Oh man, Hunchback's going first.
Ooh, I see some heavy woods you can... Well, no, let me shut up and let you play, because...
Yeah. I think I will withdraw the Jenner, though.
Okay.
So, when it's the Jenner's turn, I just do eject, right?
Correct. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark that Warhammer pilot for the kill credit.
Yeah, just because there's no armor left on either of the legs. I mean, it takes even, a light gust on either of those legs, and it's,
it's toast, yep.
I don't think the potential damage output is worth it.
No, because most likely
it's actually missing a right leg.
Yeah.
Is it?
It did. Yeah, it did lose the leg. That's what made it crippled.
And a breeze will take off the left.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe a drop of water from that lake you're next to.
Yeah.
Somehow that drop of water will have just enough kinetic energy to destroy what's left of that leg.
Still got a fire blazing.
Yeah, but it's pretty well contained, which is funny because there's 2 other wooded hexes adjacent to it, and neither of them caught on, and they're both downwind. So, or at least what seems to be
confident move.
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to stay alive. Fortunately, we don't have the rules turned on yet about wooded hexes absorbing some of the damage that you take. So. But they will start on fire if there's enough misses and enough good rolls.
I'll have to review those extra rules.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if y'all know who he is, but Byradul, he does a lot of MechWarrior. He used to do a lot of MechWarrior Online. Now he does BattleTech and MechWarrior 5 YouTube videos. I actually took a look at some of his mods the other day for MechWarrior 5, and it was like, the trees stay on fire for 5 or 10 minutes instead of bursting into flames and disappearing. There's smoke everywhere. And I'm just thinking to myself, that's really cool. Oh, wait. But then my computer's got to do a lot of math and I can't see the shit I'm trying to kill. So no, we will not be installing those mods. Cool idea. I might start a fire in my own home if I do that.
So there goes the Jenner.
Yep.
Yeah, I ejected the pilot.
We've got and both Warhammers are looking. This is one thing I love about this version. I don't know which version started it, but I know 48 and 49. As your mechs take damage, they start looking more and more like shit. And looking at those two Warhammers, I'm just like, man, they're starting to get fucked up. Looking at the Atlas and the Hunchback, on the other hand, you're like, man, they look like they're still in decent shape. Oh, excuse me. Oh, squeaky chair is gonna squeak.
So,
Yeah, I'm thinking.
okay.
Don't forget about the timer.
Yeah, got about 30 seconds left.
Trying to figure out what to do with that Atlas.
Yeah.
Fuck around, you might have two Warhammers on you.
Yeah.
And a Hunchback severely out of position. Alright, well that does
They
it.
could.
That is a move.
Yep. Actually, it's not a move.
Well, listen, there's been many a time playing against the bot or anybody, I might just be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to stay right here. I'm not going to move. I'll take my chances. And you know what?
My thought process was, obviously, with the Atlas, I want to try to leverage that EC20 as much as I can.
Yeah.
But there was no good way that I could advance with two Warhammers that have yet to move on both sides. At least one of them, no matter where I moved, if I moved forward, was going to be able to at least get in a side arc. So
I think the only good option you might have had, aside from standing still, is to try to get closer to your Hunchback. You're still, but I think you would still definitely would have ended up with the Warhammers 1 and 2.
The number 2 probably could have gotten into my rear arc had I moved over.
Could have, depending on your movement choices. Yeah, it's not good. The only thing that's going to help you is the fact that he has to keep some range. Well, he doesn't have to. He can always close and be like, whatever.
Yep.
And he has decided to open the range up a little bit.
Yep, those PPCs.
Yeah. I think we're about to see what it looks like when 4 PPC bolts soar across the field to smack an Atlas.
That's going to be certainly exciting.
And I think your Hunchback is not going to have line of sight either. I think that's also part of what influenced the movement of the Warhammers. Breaking that line of sight. Yep. Smart move.
I'm seeing some good numbers.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't have line of sight broken.
What?
I didn't think he was going to be able to hit that either of the Warhammers. To be honest with you, I never actually looked to see what would happen, but I just kind of assumed that with the woods right there. Yeah.
It was supposed to be blocked, but it's not supposed to be blocked, but because it told me it automatically registers as non-mech.
Because you clicked on the square or the hex before you occupied it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Boy.
Well, let's see how this goes.
Small tactical blunder.
It happens. Unfortunately, in this kind of a scenario, a mistake at this point could change the course of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, both PPCs smacked the Atlas, one in each arm.
Yep.
Bowhammer's medium laser volley fest. Only one hits. That's fortunate for that Warhammer.
Oh, head hit.
Ooh.
He rolled with edge.
Ooh.
Back to the right arm.
Ooh, yep. And this one ate some lasers. And, we've got a Warhammer going down. Or not going down, but Warhammer 1, critical, or, I'm sorry. No, there is a critical hit in there, so that does take it up to heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Warhammer number 1, heavy damage. Warhammer's still standing.
Yep, everyone's still standing, believe it or not.
This match, we're going into round 5 now. We're about to do round 4's physical phase. This match is providing just about as much explosive action as I had anticipated. The only thing I haven't seen yet that I won't say I predicted, but kind of sort of expect, is watching 2 Warhammers pop the Atlas like a pimple. Nothing personal, folks.
Still has the potential.
It definitely still does.
Mm-hmm. Because now we're looking at the Atlas, and the Atlas looks pretty scratched up.
Yeah, that Atlas looks like it fell down the side of a mountain. When you look at the scratches and shit.
Now, just to put it plainly, there's a few numbers here involved. Yeah. I'm not sure if I can divulge any of that information, but I suppose it's all stuff that's visible to all players.
Yes, but visible doesn't always mean seen.
Hmm.
Obviously, if somebody wants some advice, I can offer some, but it may not be very good advice. I have to caution you on that, should you choose to go down that road.
That is quite the road there.
Yeah, I feel like that Atlas has taken quite a bit of damage. Has the Atlas taken more than just armor hits? Am I silly?
No, just armor.
That's fucking scary.
Yep, it's all spread across the torsos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But both arms are getting low.
Yeah, the arms are low. The right torso's low.
The arms are basically 1 or 2 PPCs away from being internal.
Yeah, well, 1 PPC will definitely. Yeah, you're right. What's weird though is because you look at the status bar above the Atlas and you look and see that much yellow. You're expecting more damage, but the view card for the Atlas shows as light damage only. I'm like, yeah, that does not look like light damage, but okay, I'll go with that.
Just spread all over.
Oh yeah, it is. And now the Hunchback has come out of the woods to say, "I'm here to play, bitches. Let's play."
Okay. Now,
Advancing.
I don't know what I would do if I was in Darius's position. This is a tough position.
I think I would probably be trying to focus that Atlas down. Because if I ignore him too long, the Atlas will wreck my face. But I think
with that AC-20, but then the Hunchback is also real big toughy when it comes to damage.
Lots of lasers.
The Hunchback hasn't taken any hits yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not 100% on the rules for smoke.
They, for line of sight purposes, function the same as woods. Light smoke is 1, heavy smoke is 2.
I see.
The only difference with trees and smoke really is you don't see trees drifting across the field. That was more.
That would be concerning.
It's more of a joke, and those aren't trees if they are. Those are treants, or tree men, or tree men if you're playing Blood Bowl.
I like the back and forth here.
Yeah. Speaking of Blood Bowl, Foe, did you watch my match by chance?
Yeah, I did. Man, that reminded me a lot of my match against the Halflings. Just, the Black Orcs should have been causing a lot more injuries when I played the Halflings and just could not roll anything but pushes. Got a couple of knockdowns, but no injuries. And yeah, it was just. And I gave up a one-turn touchdown to the Halflings.
Ugh, yuck.
Basically, I had my goblins playing back as safeties, but moved one of them up just one space too far, and it was just enough that the tree men could throw the halfling over, and then the halfling just ran in for the touchdown.
Yep. I said it on the video too. I've said it in Discord too. But man, that was a match where I totally felt like I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing, just couldn't get the dice to quite land the way I wanted. I had like, I think he said like 5 people I sent off, not sent off, but removed 5 people from the field through that match, and I'm like, I couldn't get anything more than a knockout. I don't think I had it. I don't think I got any. I don't think I put anybody out of the game. All right, let me see it here. The Warhammer is okay. That's the first one. The first one's already up to heavy. That leg is still there. That left arm is still there. Oh man, that is a bunch of hits, but a bunch of misses too. God, how do you have so many lasers that statement still applies no matter which one I use?
The Hunchback is taking damage for the first time.
Yes, it is. Hunchback, light damage. And the Atlas just eats more shots and just says, give me more. We've got a Warhammer going down. Engine hit on the Warhammer. That is going to cripple it. But he's still in the fight. Still in the fight.
Also, big thing here is that even though it did take the critical on the engine, like you said, still in the hit, all the big stuff missed on the Atlas.
The AC-20
missed, the SRM missed.
That's unfortunate for the Atlas.
And you know what? I made the choice there of which one to go after, and I chose to go after number 2, thinking that the Hunchback would probably do enough significant damage to the first Warhammer that it would probably take it out of the fight this round, but that was obviously not the case.
Even when you're rolling on 6s and 7s, you have to assume that no better than half your shots are going to hit, and then you got to act surprised when they all do.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the RNGs gets very verklempt and wonders why you're not showing appropriate praise.
Something that might turn the tide of the fight here, because both the Warhammers are still in the fight.
Yeah.
And the Atlas taking a lot of damage here. Now, the interesting here is the Atlas is finally going last, but the Hunchback has to move first.
The Hunchback's got to move first, and then both Warhammers, of which one is currently down.
Yeah.
Now that one Warhammer, even with the engine hit, it could still be a formidable foe. It just has to take it back a little bit as far as the firepower it sends out. For the folks at home, those Warhammers are 7 wealth apiece.
Now I don't know if this is in the rules or not, or how you want to do this, but is that Warhammer staying in the fight, or do you plan on surrendering it this round? I don't know if you can answer that, or if you want to answer
that. I don't think I want to answer
that. And for the viewers at home, I will answer it in the form of, if that was my Warhammer, he would stay in for at least another engine hit. If I was in Darius's current tactical position. But, mind you, that's my answer. It's not Darius's. They may or may not be the same. We'll find out in a few minutes. That was the best answer ever, though. I don't know if I want to answer that to you, or give you that answer. Oh. Ooh.
Getting in close.
Yeah, that's dangerous for that Warhammer.
Yeah, and that the reason I was asking that was, just purely tactical, out of character and everything for the, love of the game. I don't think I have a shot from this side on the 2C. So, or not the 2C, but the Warhammer 2.
Yeah.
Because of all the
smoke, yeah.
So I basically had to make a choice of whether to stay on this side of the hill or go around the other side. But of course, that would have, if that Warhammer could have stood up, would have, open the rear arc to on the Hunchback. So,
and that's never a good thing to have open.
No.
Seems like the Warhammer has moved,
but it's still showing as prone, so I think it fell
again.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll see in the moment when it changes to the next phase. Oh, he must have used up all his movement points or something, because that other Warhammer has moved now as well. All right. Well, the Warhammer did fall over again. right leg hip actuator is what was destroyed, causing the hell of a time getting back up. But otherwise, still more or less in the fight.
Yeah, rolled snake eyes on getting up though. It only needed a 5, but yeah.
Yep. And then we've got the Atlas moving in super close, and we've got a Hunchback poised for the coup de grace, as it were. Coming up after this match, we will roll to determine what special event we have next week for the mid-season match. Or mid-season special event. I had a term. It didn't sound nearly as dumb as what just came out of my mouth, but...
I think you wrote it as the mid-season special event.
Yes, that sounds a lot better than the bumbling bullshit that just came out. I believe it's a 1d8 that we're going to have to roll to.
You have 8 scenarios.
I do.
Interesting.
I believe I do.
I mean, the organizers of this game have 8 scenarios.
Yes, the Grayland Trio's league officials.
Yes.
Now, it's interesting here is the positioning between the Atlas and the Warhammer 2. There's heavy smoke intervening, so that increases the hit chances here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he still has a lot of short-range firepower that can really find one of those weak spots on your Atlas.
Rams, yep.
If I'm not mistaken, you're looking at 2 or 3 medium lasers, at least 1, probably 2 SRM6s. I don't recall specifically how many the 6K has. And some machine guns, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So that's going to be
1 SRM6. No machine guns on this model. There's 2 medium lasers, 2 small lasers, 2 PPCs.
That's it. I knew there was something else that was really small and light. Those 2 small lasers are literally crit seekers in and of themselves. So
yeah. I think this model, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it ditches the machine guns for more armor, if I remember correctly.
That definitely sounds like something the Caretans would do.
That Hunchback is going to
Die.
wreak havoc.
It's going to die. I'm sorry. Don't listen to me. It's definitely going to do some shit. Oh, what are we looking at? Holy shit. Look at all that right there. Just that one single laser blew off an arm and took out SRM6s and an engine hit. How the fuck? Wow.
Yeah, it was rolling on 3s, so...
Oh, that would do it. That would fucking do it. There is a gyro hit, too. I've already got that Warhammer marked as crippled, so that Warhammer is pretty well fucked. And the other Warhammer... The other Warhammer, not so bad. That Warhammer is going to be in the fight for a while.
Miss with the SRM, miss with the AC-20.
Yep. That's really keeping that Warhammer alive. Now, your Atlas, on the other hand, finally moves up into the moderate damage because it finally took some internal structure damage.
Yep.
Interesting.
Are you going to kick a mech while it's down?
That's the question.
That is the question, yes.
It's a Korean, yes I will.
It fits. It definitely fits the rivalry, we'll say, between the Davions and the Caretans.
Critical hit on center torso.
Yeah. Darius, what are you thinking, man? Getting real close to that 25% cutoff. You gonna stick it out? Hope for a good shot?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't let me listen. That was not me trying to influence you here. That was just trying to see where your head's at. From the way I see it, you're really in a tough spot there.
That is a severely damaged Warhammer.
Oh yeah, it's not often you see a mech with that little bit of red remaining on the status bars. Interesting.
Heavy smoke, heavy woods. Yeah, I'll stay right there.
No, not a bad call. Also, I was thinking the Atlas is a 4-6. Apparently, it's a 3-5.
They're taking a bit of a risk here.
I mean, at the end of the day, that Warhammer can still cause problems, but it's almost effectively out of the fight without being out of the fight.
But it would just be like those sneaky cretins to stand up that Warhammer.
I sure as shit. Well, listen. If I had the heat tolerance, I would stand that mech up and I'd drop PPCs on your face. If I couldn't do that, I'd use my lasers and SRMs. There's just no other way. Like, if I was gonna keep it in the fight, that's exactly what I would do. I would stand its ass. I might even bother standing it up. I might just turn and shoot while prone.
I would take a second look at that Warhammer.
The first one. I don't. It may
First
not.
one, yes.
It may not have a whole lot of ability to do anything. Oh, that thing is dead. Period.
Warhammer 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It can't do anything except be a target.
Yep. I see the Atlas and Warhammer 2 are going to be touching
Oh my
tips.
god, it got up.
No, he's still prone.
Oh no, it is prone. It is prone. Yep. So I just saw it move, but yeah, the numbers for the rain and stuff are covering it up. So yeah, it still is prone.
I'm not risking standing that thing up.
Hell no. That mech is now in the same condition as that
Gyro,
Jenner.
yeah.
Once again, there might be enough kinetic energy in a single drop of water to burn that mech to the ground.
It's just about in the same condition as my old Honda Accord from the mid 2000s.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yep. No brakes, no speedometer.
Ooh.
Don't know how it passed anything.
That's why I can't imagine driving a vehicle and not knowing at least a general idea of how fast I'm going. I can't imagine that. It's just something so intrinsic to driving is knowing how fast you're going.
Yeah, I gained a pretty good understanding of how fast I was moving by driving a car with no speedometer.
I guess there's ways to learn.
Real quick, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
Real quick, that Warhammer didn't stand up? It just, what did it do? Did it just turn?
I think he just turned. Because when you're prone, you could turn one hex facing.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you can turn as many hex facing as you want.
Oh, it's how many movement. Yeah. That's what I meant. But you only had one walking movement point, and I think that's what I was thinking was you could only turn once. So that's what came out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. It's not kill stealing; it's kill securing.
Yeah, that's getting an XP. That's what that is.
Yeah, XP farming.
Yeah, what are we looking at here? Oh.
All right. Warhammer 2 on the Atlas.
Oh, that right arm.
Yeah, that right arm.
And the Hunchback kills the Warhammer. It took 4 engine hits this phase. I don't know if that Warhammer is going to be retrievable.
We will find out.
We will find out. And the Hunchback gets the kill.
Oh, that Atlas, though, coming in.
Yeah.
Yep, SRM.
SRM-6 blew off the whole left torso.
Yep.
And the Atlas,
and AC-20 whiffed again.
Have you hit with that AC-20 at all this match?
Just once. I think I've hit it once this match.
Yes, you did hit once.
Darius is like, but only once.
Yes. And it was needing an 8 and it rolled a 7.
Golly. All right.
Kick
phase. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
You were right. Physical phase. I just tend to go with kicks.
Same thing.
Yeah, really.
What are we looking at here? It's going to be quite the melee between an Atlas and a Warhammer.
I mean, the Warhammer's got the disadvantage on tonnage, but he hasn't moved, so that could help him out with the target number.
He's getting the attack roll.
The Atlas missed, but made its PSRs.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping. It was. I looking at the numbers. It was almost a 60% chance to hit, and it whiffed. So.
Yeah. Listen, there's worse things you can do with a kick.
Yeah.
No, actually, there isn't. Well, you could fall over and burn your mech. Oh, Team 3 has achieved battle value condition, whatever.
Yep.
So that looks like it's a win for the Davions. I believe it's going to say. It should say. Which is unfortunate.
But 70 seconds into a match. Very interesting.
Yeah. Weird how that works out. I'm just waiting. Need everybody to click done so I can get to the final screens and figure out what's up with that Warhammer. I'm pretty sure it's toast. All right, let's see. Hernandez has 2 hits. I don't recall. Oh, surprisingly, it doesn't say. Hold on. Warhammer 2 survives. Atlas survives. Hunchback, the 2 pilots. Graveyard contains everything else. No, that Warhammer is recovered without having to make a roll. So there is that. That's good. That's good for you. All right, let's do some victory tallies. 3 points to the Golden Suns, 1 point to the Dragonborn. Let me pull up my rules. Oh, goodness gracious. I gotta go a little bit more. There we go. 1 light mech defeated for both, so that's 1 point each. 1 heavy mech defeated, not destroyed, so that's 3 more for the Suns. That takes it up to 7. For the Suns, 7-2. Now we do some math. Pull up the calculator. 7 times... Oops, nope, not times. 7 plus 2 obviously is 9. Times 1.5 is 13. That comes to 14. 14 divided by 3 times 2 is 10. Going to the Suns. 4 going to the Dragonborn. We'll start with the Dragonborn for their fan rolls. So first we have a -1 for the streak. Lost streak, 1 for losing. We didn't have any mechs blow up. No intentional pilot kills. No attacking unconscious pilot or mech. No physical attack kills. Alright, so we have a -2 total. Darius, if you could roll a 2d6 for me, please, to see how much your fan numbers change.
What's the penalty?
-2. 1 for a loss, 1 for your loss streak of 2 matches. Technically 3, but... Alright, 6 minus 2 is 4. And that will give you -1 fan for a total of 5. Times the 4 is 20 wealth earned. Go over your repair costs real quick. That's going to put you at 34. 3 for maintenance, I think. It might be 4. These are preliminary numbers, of course. I'll be inputting all this data into the spreadsheets later, and then more refined numbers will come out. You've got a heavy crippled.
You said it was my fans times what?
Fans times 4. So you'll earn 20. Plus the 14 you started with, that will put you at 34. I'm starting to do your repair costs now. We have... That second Warhammer didn't take any critical slots?
Nope.
Impressive. Alright, Warhammer 1 is crippled. That's a heavy crippled. That is 8. The other heavy is only moderate, so that's 4. And the spider was crippled as well. That's also 4. We have 16 there, plus the 3. I don't have any pilot injuries, so it looks like a total of 19 for repair and medical. So
wait, how much was for medical?
Medical is 0 from my count. I didn't record anybody getting any head hits for your team. Or
okay,
not head hits, injuries, I should say.
And repair was what?
16 plus the 3 for maintenance, weekly maintenance. Although I think you have a 4th mech. You have 6 or 7 mechs total.
I have 7 total. However, I do not have a technician assigned to one of them.
Yes. Hello, Dragon Man. Thanks for stopping in, my friend. We're right in the middle of doing some math, so bear with us. Okay, so it would still technically be 3. That mech may be taking some damages, which I never drafted any rules for, but we'll get to that another time. Yeah, so 16 repair, 3 maintenance, so for a total of minus 19 from that 34 comes up with something like 15, if I can math right. Go ahead and move on to Foehammer here and the Davion Golden Suns. You've got +1 for the win streak, +1 for the win. No booms or anything like that. So your fan modifier is just a +2. Go ahead and roll me 2d6 for me, please, Foehammer. Oh, you've already done it. 4 plus 2 is 6, and I believe that's no change. 6 is no change, so you keep the 5. 5 times 10 is earning of 50. That gives you 82 wealth prior to medical and... I almost said medical and dental again. Medical and repairs. So we have weekly maintenance. We have an assault with moderate damage. That is 6 points. We have a medium with light. That's going to be 1 damage. And we have a light that was crippled. That's going to be 4 damage. We have a pilot with 1 hit. That is a cost of 1.
Mela took 2 hits.
Was that from the destruction, or was one of those hits after he ejected? I don't remember.
I know at least one of them was from falling.
Yeah, that was the one I have recorded. I don't remember if he actually got hurt or anything during the ejection. It is possible I missed it.
Do you want me to go through the match results?
It's not going to have the only impact it's going to have is whether Foe has to pay 1 or if he has to pay 3. That pilot will still be available next week.
Yeah.
So it's literally a difference of 2 wealth. He's got plenty of wealth at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like the pilot ejected safely in round 3. I'm just going back.
So he must have taken a second hit somewhere else that I missed.
No, the pilot of the Jenner took 1 damage for 2 total hits when it failed the ejection roll.
It failed the ejection roll?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that adds up, though. I must have missed that line. So that's 2 hits, which means it's 3.
It's in round 4 during the movement phase.
Okay. Okay. That just changes, like I said, his medical bill from 1 to 3. That pilot will still be back next week. Let's see. So 3, 9, 10, 14, 17 total for medical and...
Well, actually, didn't you say that the ejection doesn't count for the medical?
Correct. It doesn't, because he chose to eject. So no, that would just make it 1.
Yeah.
So 3, 9, 10, 14, 15 total costs for Foehammer. Add up these experience points. So Foe, my math, rough, very rough. Looks like you're sitting at about 65, 67 wealth going into the rest of the week. The refined number will show up later. And then lastly, before we move on to a break and then last 2 matches, I need to make a quick roll to see what next week's special event is. As soon as I find it. Sponsorships. Mid-season break. Alright, 1d8. I'm going to roll that now. We'll find out what the special match will be, and then over the course of the week, I will be determining special rules and exactly what the prize breakdown is. Rolled a 6 on the 1d8. That is last team standing. So all 8 teams will enter the battlefield on turn 1, and will fight until only one team remains. This is going to get very big, hectic, messy. So we'll have to look at increasing the size of the map to keep it from being super condensed. But our special match event next week will be the last team standing. Again, all 8 teams with 3 mechs apiece will be entering on the first turn of the fight, and will go until only one team has a has a functional mech at the end. That actually sounds kind of exciting. It also sounds like it's going to be a hell of a headache for me to score. But we'll figure it out. We'll fucking figure it out. Jesus, that's going to be messy. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I'm actually getting more excited the more I think about it, until I start thinking about the logistical side of putting it all together. All right, so we are going to take a break. We will be back in a few minutes. We have 2 matches remaining. We have the Honeybees taking on the Debutantes, and then my personal team, the Industrialists, taking on the Opposition. Both those 2 teams, the Industrialists and the Opposition, are currently 2-0, and only one of them can be undefeated by the end of the night. Although maybe, I guess, arguably, they could draw, so technically they'd still both be undefeated at the end of the night. In the meanwhile, we're going to take a break. We'll come back in a few minutes for more exciting mech-on-mech explosive action. Stick around, friends.